Here we are having a cooked breakfast doing the next part of the Southwest Coast Path. Where am I going? Oh, going round Penwith. I'm going to be going round in circles from Penzance to Penzance. Oh yeah, can you hear that?
Hello. All right, good morning, or afternoon, or evening, or night.
Yeah, Paul's with me, and we're going to go on the open top Land's End coaster. And Paul's got loads of fascinating facts he's just thought of, which he's going to tell you all about.
In fact, 90% of them will be true, all right.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. But we're going to see some ancient stuff, some modern telegraphy.
Yeah, telegraphy.
Yeah, we're going to see modern telegraphy.
Not a word I would have used because I can't pronounce it.
Unlike me. Who can't either. And what else? Oh.
So we're starting in the legendary Sullivan's Diner. But yeah, if you're going to go around in circles, start here.
Start here. Yo. Possibly end here. The fare for the coaster is just £5 for an adult or £10 for a family, and that allows you to ride all day long, and as you'll see, that is a real bargain. And as we're starting early, this bus still has damp seats from the overnight parking. Actually, I didn't ask you that. Did you want to sit upstairs?
No, I struggle with the stairs. I get vertigo when I'm too high up.
Right, so we're on the coaster. So the plan is that we're going to get off at Zena. So we're going to run fast through Lelant and Carbis Bay and St Ives, because you will have seen that on the previous video that me and him did. You will have seen that, won't you?
Of course they have.
They have, yeah. They're big fans.
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah. And yeah, we'll get off at Zena, and that'll be the time for our first stop, a bit of a walk, and maybe even time for a jar.
I think we'll be thirsty by then, won't we?
We will be thirsty, yeah. So we're here at 9:30 and we're going to be getting off at 11. And so that's quite a long run, an hour and a half.
We've got enough nutrition and stuff like that.
Yes, we're fully ready.
Well rested.
Yeah, and behind us is a lovely view.
It is. Elizabeth Branwell, mother of the Bronte sisters. That was her family's mill back in the day.
We'll head out around the bay, tracking alongside Long Rock Beach and past the now disused Marazion railway station. And Marazion, of course, is where you can head out for St Michael's Mount.
My daughter works there. She sells cream teas.
Once we've negotiated the narrow streets of Marazion, it's onto the A30 for a fast run to St Erth. And at the station there are lots of people waiting for the branch line to St Ives. And if you want to see more about that branch line, then do watch the video where Paul and I have a ride on it. Then it's time to pass the posh houses in Lelant and Carbis Bay before arriving at St Ives bus station, where there appears to be quite a big bus queue. Now it's time to squeeze out of St Ives on the Northern Coast Road for Zena. Even though we're a little inland from the coast path, it is still a stunning ride.
We've got a bit of Eagle's Nest. That was the home of Patrick Heron, one of the St Ives artists. Incredible light. This is one reason why it was so popular with artists around here. The light is just so pure, and the colours of the sea. Coming into Zena now. Very beautiful place.
That's right.
I do like the whole finger. It's actually a dark sky area, but obviously not now because the sun's shining. Maybe later when it's dark. Montbretia, a lot of it around here. This is a nice reddish one. Bit of a fan. Any good?
It's in a spot.
The little raised finger for espresso. It's not very Italian, is it?
So we're at the parish church.
Saint Zennor, the patron saint of Zena, well, in fact, he gives the name to Zena. There is a carving on the end of one of the pew ends of a mermaid, the mermaid of Zena. Let's see if we can go find it.
Well, Paul left me to go find this carving, and actually, I couldn't. Everybody says it's obvious and you can't miss it. Well, both myself and the French couple that were already in the church searching for it could not find it anywhere. Well, I couldn't find a mermaid.
Yeah,
His wife said it's obvious. Well, I went in and I couldn't find it.
Yeah,
So
well,
do post in the comments.
It's
what
there.
that idiot.
They're pretty slippery, those mermaids, anyway, aren't they?
Yeah. I thought they weren't that mobile on land, but apparently they can get anywhere.
Yeah.
Anybody who saw our visit to St Michael's Way will know Paul walks incredibly fast.
There's going to be a really nice view opening out over there in a second.
So what are we looking at there, Paul?
We're looking at a beautiful little cove, and in the background, well, we've got Gernard's Head, which is a cracking place for climbing, really well rated. In fact, the Dutch Special Forces train there. Fun fact, and that's actually true. A year ago, all this was burned down to absolute scorched earth. It was just ash powdered everywhere. Wind was blowing like mad, it just totally denuded it. I'm absolutely amazed that a year on, there's this much vegetation. Absolutely incredible. And look at that, there's a trig point. I'm a bit of a fan of trig points.
He is a bit of a fan of trig points.
Great view of Eagle's Nest. Over there, Patrick Heron's old place. Calm Cottage up on the top of Zennor, Alistair Crowley's old place. Sperris Coit, another beautiful old ancient site up there. And then you've got Pendine Watch with a Pendine Lighthouse over there. Lots and lots and lots of Atlantic. Ordnance Survey Triangulation Point, or Trig Point for short. Basically, these all cropped up in the 1920s, I think. They've mapped the whole of Britain, and you get 3 points and you can triangulate between them so you can know exactly how high everything is. So there's a trig point just there. There's a trig point on top of Trendrine Hill, which is just over there. And if you have a look over there, you've got a Watchcroft, and there's a trig point on top of there. So they can triangulate together and you can work out exact positionings. And that's part of a whole network of thousands all across the UK.
So the time by my watch is now 11:53. So in the time it takes us to walk back into Zena, to the Tinner's Arms, effectively it's time for a beer.
Awesome, mate. Cheers. Thank you.
Well, this one is very busy, so we're going to have to stand for a bit.
Not a bad way to spend the day off.
And not for the last time today, I'm impressed with how they can pilot these big buses down such small country lanes.
You're on an open soil bus, you wave to the people on the top deck of another open soil bus. I don't know these people, they're just on an open soil bus. That's why we wave. How British. Can't go up there. I really like that. They can't. I'd get in if I was you, mate. Right, we got Colngalver Mine on the right. A nicest bit of coastal road to drive. Yeah. Unless you've got a motorhome and can't reverse, then it's pretty terrible, really. Straw Dogs was a film from the late 70s, controversial for various reasons. The House was filmed over there.
And the roadworks at Pendine makes it doubly difficult for our local bus drivers.
Geever Mine. That closed in 1990. If you're a Geever man, as I know down here, you still get served first at the bar if you walk in there. Still treated with a lot of respect. This bit of coast is called the Tin Coast, and there's so many mines along it. Some of those mines extend over a mile underneath the sea. Here we've got Batalic. This is where me and John met at Batalic Beer Festival back in the day. When was that? 2000?
2000?
Yeah, a long time ago. Over 20 years ago, anyway.
I got very drunk, and his band sounded better every pint I had.
Lots of tables got broken that night as well, I believe.
By Paul.
Well, they sort of part of the stage, you know, you just run along on the tables.
Right, we're in St Just now, and the time is now 1:20, so we're going to have a short pit stop here to get something to eat, and Paul's got a place in mind, so we're going to go down there and have something to eat. We have had a very nice rarebit, and actually the Earl Grey tea was lovely as well. And now I'm reliably informed by this reliable informant that when
I'd like to think of sort of a font of knowledge, actually.
Yes, not an informant. That sounds like something else.
That's like a grat. I'm not a grat.
No, if you were, you'd be a supergrass. My supergrass here has reliably informed me that we're now in the most westerly town in England.
We're on our way.
Goodbye, St Just. Thank you for lunch. Thank you, Paul, for lunch.
Dog and Rabbit, St Just, highly recommended.
However, you can point out a slight disappointing factor of this bus.
This or that.
And we get to the airport just as a plane is taking off. My guess that it's a Skybus service going out to the Isles of Scilly. Incidentally, Skybus does provide a connecting shuttle bus from Penzance for its flights if you fancy the trip. And soon we're passing the Sennen Top car park where the surfers park, and then the bus will begin to drop down into Sennen Cove itself. And there's already a clockwise bus here. But our bus has to do a 3-point turn, so no doubt it won't delay us too much. That's the thumbnail.
Cheers, mate.
See you later, have a good day.
All right.
Thank you.
Sennen Cove. Nice, isn't it?
Absolutely fantastic.
Very popular surfing beach. A lot of surf school stuff goes on there. There's a beach over in the corner over there called Gwemba, and that's really, really, really good for surfing. It's also a brutal slog up some steps when you're knackered with a surfboard afterwards. I know that might sound like I'm a surfer. I'm not, but I have been there. and watch people struggle up there. And if you have a look out there, you've got the Brissons, just about a mile away from Cape Cornwall. There's a race there every year. You swim out there, you turn around and you swim back. Alternatively, you can stay on dry land and watch people do it, and that is a lot nicer. And Cape Cornwall, one of only 2 capes in the UK. You know what a cape is?
No, Paul.
It's an item of clothing which keeps the rain off. But there's also another type of cape as well. And that is where 2 seas or oceans meet. So that is where the Celtic Sea and the Atlantic meet.
So the plan now is that we will actually walk on the southwest coast path round to Land's End, because it's not too far. We've got enough time and we'll pick up the bus there. And judging by the queues here, that's possibly a wise move.
It's a very smart move. We're going to go to Land's End.
Nice to actually do a walk on the southwest coast path.
Bit of a busy section this, for a reason. I mean, it is very beautiful.
But fantastic view of Sennen and Sennen Cove over to this way. And then behind us,
Longship's Lighthouse, Land's End, in none of its glory. It's got a horrible building, but it's still beautiful. All out there. This is all wrecking country. Loads and loads of shipwrecks around here. Some of those intentional, some of them not. I think the Cornish made a nice bit of money out of it. I don't think they pay tax either. Glorious sunshine. If I put my glasses on, my sunglasses on, the sun's going to go in. Should we try that as a scientific experiment?
yes, let's. That's better.
I know.
Oh, what do you look like? An idiot with sunglasses on instead of an idiot.
Cornish word for holidaymaker is an emmet, and emmet is an Old English word for ant, and you can see why. Behind me is what is popularly known as Owl Rock. See if you can guess why.
A good bit of that.
There is.
So apparently you've got to look out for dangerous cliffs.
Yeah, do you know any dangerous cliffs?
Cliff Richard?
I don't think the true enormity of his danger will come out until he dies.
Okay, all right. What about Cliff Mitchellmore?
He's quite benign really, isn't he? I wouldn't feel threatened even if he had a knife.
Oh, Jimmy Cliff.
Yeah, he's obviously the most dangerous cliff.
He's a little bit woe, isn't he? A little bit way. So if you do see Jimmy Cliff round here, watch out.
But he's in his 80s now. I don't think he's quite the threat he used to be.
I think he's got people.
Oh, yeah.
I think if you diss Jimmy, he just clicks his fingers.
Yeah. In time. Rhythmically. He wouldn't just like click him in a
No.
casual sort of way.
Be warned.
Yeah. We are. There's a sign.
Right, so Southwest Coast Bus has got to Land's End. And really Land's End, the first and last house.
Yes.
So that's it, I'm halfway there, Paul. I'm not halfway there.
Yeah, that's if you ignore the longer bit.
Yes, the longer southern bit.
The southern bit.
Yeah, so we're turning the corner now and heading on back to Penzance. Where's the next stop?
Ooh, where is it? Porthcurno.
Porthcurno.
Oh, that'll be exciting.
Yeah, you might expect us to go and see a theatre, but we're interested in telegraphy.
We are. No. decent old walk. All of about a mile. Cheers.
And go. I got the impression from the timetable they were all going to Burian and Penzance, that one, yeah.
Let's see what that looks like.
Right, I'm ready to stop the wind knocking my hat off, because we're on the open top bus.
Yeah, you would have done, wouldn't you?
There are two buses leaving, one with the sky and one without.
No question, really, is there?
No, not really. When you're doing an open top bus adventure.
I know. This feels like a safari. We've seen cows, dogs and cats, lots of birds. Yeah. What else have we seen? No llamas or anything.
No, a couple of tigers. Oh no, you were rummaging in your bag.
Yeah.
You missed the tigers.
Oh.
Being close to Land's End means there's a lot more tourist traffic, and therefore more chance for shenanigans. And so we turn into the dead-end road for Porthcurno. The bus actually waits up here for some time, as they're aware that there is another bus coming up the road out of the village.
Here we have a classic BMW driver who's incapable of reversing correctly.
So that was a really fun bus ride, wasn't it? On account of the views?
Yep, the views of an Audi and a BMW completely incapable of driving, thinking they could push past the bus, realising they couldn't, and then having to do the reverse of shame.
But not being able to.
But not being able to, and having a full gallery of people on top of a bus laughing at them.
Especially Paul, who gave them a resounding round of applause.
Round of applause. I've done gigs where I've had less applause than that.
So we are in Porthcurno, which has a wonderful beach behind you and the camera there, and over here is the Museum of Global Telecommunications. And I suggest we have a little walk up there just while we're in the car park, and they won't be open because it's late, but we can peer in the glass, and then we'll go down to the telegraph hut and onto the beach, and then maybe up to a theatre.
Ooh.
Yep.
Depending on the timings.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go. We've had both of those phones in our house, the Motorola Flip and the old Nokia 3310, is it? We kind of knew that the timings meant that this wonderful museum is closed to us, as it's gone 5. But yeah, this is just the start of international telecommunications, with the first cable that dived under the sea, transatlantic cable.
Transatlantic.
That started global communications, certainly between Europe here and the Americas. Yeah, so although, I mean, the garden's actually lovely. You were quite enjoying the gardens.
It's a beautiful garden. It's even got a giant squid as well.
Yeah, so what can we do with the giant squid? Can one of us run down and the other one say things?
Yeah, I'm sure we can do something along those lines if you like.
So the general idea is that these are the legs of the giant squid, and then it reaches all the way down there, so somebody speaking up here should be able to be heard all the way down there, I think. Would you say?
Hello?
Right, well, I'm going to go
on then.
I'm going to go down with the camera. Here we go. It's a hell of a thing, isn't it?
Hello. Hello, Johnny.
Hello, Paul.
Good afternoon. What a pleasant afternoon it is too.
And he's right up there.
I could actually just give you a ring. Or come down.
Yes, you could. Yeah, so strangely, that really was maybe as cool as it looks, or not as cool. It was great. Just some plastic pipe wrapped up into the shape of a giant squid. What's not to like?
See, people say it looks like the back end of a bus, but that's actually quite a nice back end of a bus.
It is. So these curious, very short telegraph poles along here were part of the training department that was here to train, well, basically telecommunications engineers. And of course they didn't need to have the poles that tall when they were just training them with the stuff that went on at the very top. So that's why they're rather short.
Careful, John, you're very high up. You're 25 foot up in the air. Don't jump. Don't. You should have a bag that says the big bag of book.
And here it is, the cable hut, built in 1929 and providing the landing point of the cables coming in from the sea. And I believe, as it says on the sign here, that it's the only one with all its fixtures and fittings still remaining from when this technology was in use. A nondescript little white concrete box has huge amount of history for global telecommunications. So this is the beach at Porthcurno, and it is one of the loveliest beaches in this area. It's absolutely marvellous and looks out to Logan Rock over there. And over to Paul about Logan Rock.
So Logan Rock, Logan in Cornish means rocking stone, and there was a beautiful large chunk of granite on top of there, which still is, and that was a rocking stone. But a couple of drunken sailors one night decided to topple it. They did, they successfully toppled it, but their punishment for doing that, when it was all found out and caused mayhem and problems, was they had to put it back up, which then cost them thousands of pounds. And given that was the late 1800s, that was a lot of money. I bet they didn't do that again. So there's a race called the Classic Quarter, and it goes from Lizard Point, which you can probably just about see over there, all the way around to Land's End. 44 miles. It's brutal. This is about 6 miles away from the end, and going up these steps is just horrible. Imagine you've done 38 miles. You're on your knees, and you've got to get up that. Why do people do it?
Why do you do it?
Why do I do it? It seemed like a good idea. I have done it, but probably won't do it again. It really hurts. And actually you just stop enjoying it after a while. I'm not that much of a masochist.
Oh good, more steps. The Minack was started by Rena Cade and her gardener in 1932, and with the help of others she was still working on it well into her 80s. She died in 1983. Oh, and it looks like there's a production on tonight too. We had to rush down the hill to make the next bus. You see, we're keen to make it to St Burian for one final pint of the day at the inn. Paul reports that the beer is going to be excellent there. And it's getting late and also quite cold, so there's far fewer passengers now. So there, over on the right, is the Merry Maiden Stone Circle.
And on the left, we have the Pipers, which are two very large standing stones. They are known colloquially as Alpha and Billy. We are now approaching Sheffield.
Oh, crikey, we've taken a wrong turning. Hey, up now then, welcome to Sheffield.
On our right, the home of Mousehole AFC.
Just beyond that is Paul's own little wood that he owns, which he's planted all himself. Well done, Paul.
I can run up this hill in 6 minutes and 48 seconds. Well, I can on a good day. On a bad day, I just get the bus.
The Art Deco Jubilee Pool was opened in 1935 as part of the Silver Jubilee celebrations for King George V. And then we pass Penzance's South Pier, where the Silonian leaves daily for the Isles of Scilly and the commercial boats are moored. And finally, Penzance Harbour opens up with its host of pleasure craft. And that's it. One more loop of the Premier Inn means we're back where we started this morning. And we've completed the loop using 6 buses on the Land's End coaster, all for the bargain price of just £5. So, we end it where we began.
Absolutely. It's like we've gone
Sullivan's.
It's like we've gone round in circles, isn't it?
We did, didn't we? We
Yes.
ended up going round in the circle. I hope you enjoyed that. We certainly went round and did all of it. We had a few drinks, we had some nice things to eat, and would we recommend
No doubt.
the Land's End coaster?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We've just had a lovely day out, haven't we?
It's been absolutely marvellous.
Yeah. So thank you, Paul, for letting me stay with you and coming along on
Yeah.
the Land's End coaster and doing some of the South West Coast path, because of course that's something we did as well.
Oh, yes.
Sennen Cove to Land's End.
Yeah.
And that was cool as well. So now we've finished our little odyssey, and I will be picking up the South West Coast bus soon. But in the meantime, from Penzance outside Sullivan's wonderful diner, it's goodbye, and thank you for watching, and thank you, Paul.
Cheerio. Thanks.
Cheers. And if you want to catch up with day 5 of South West Coast Bus, then you can find it here.